Hello everyone and welcome to a new episode of the No Quest Hardcore Iron Man. In the last episode we focused on getting a bunch of Slayer upgrades, and in this one I'm gonna be continuing with doing Slayer, and I think it's time for our first unlock. We're gonna be buying the bigger and better to unlock superiors, and since I cannot access any blocks or the Slayer helmet, I think the next one we will be going for is the ring blink or broader fletching, but that's a little bit down the line. For now, we got our first worm task, and as I said in the last episode, these are pretty important because they're gonna be my main source of pure essence to train rune crafting. So I will get down to the Curlm dungeon and start the task right away. I hope you'll enjoy. After I started doing that worms task, I realized that they are pretty tanky and Slayer really is gonna take a long ass time. So it's best to utilize our Mr. Jekyll random events as well as we can. So far I've been carrying those Cadentines with me and trading them at him for super restores. And while that's great and super restores are fantastic potions, there are actually multiple places where I can get super restores, especially now since our combat level is getting higher and higher, but there is only one way for me to get staminas, and that is indeed Jekyll random event. And to get staminas from Jekyll you need Torstalls, and there are not too many great sources of Torstalls when you are low farming level, but one of those is the Sinister chest, and you open it with a Sinister key that you can get from fighting Salarin the Twisted here in the Yanil dungeon. He's a pretty cool NPC back from the classic days. He has this unique mechanic where you can only harm him using strike spells like Air Strike, Water Strike, Earth Strike, and Fire Strike, obviously Fire Strike being the best, but they always max hit on him, so he's pretty fast to kill with very low cost, and while in the downtime I can kill those Chaos Druids here and get a bunch of other herbs. Yeah, speaking of Dr. Jekyll. One pretty cool thing is that Salarin, just like Chaos Druid warriors, can drop super defenses one dosed, so this is my first super defense on the account. Pretty cool for the potion collection. Managed to get 10 keys, which means 10 Torstalls, and that should be enough to get us started. Out of curiosity, I stopped by the adventure store and the stock is full, so this would have been cool like 5 episodes ago. The astute observers among you will notice that this is not Slayer, this is indeed Motherlode Mine. I will be unlocking the restricted mine access, which is the upper floor, because I am doing something pretty active on my main UIM, so when I'm doing something active there, I will have to do something AFK here. So for now, my active skills on this account is Slayer, and when I can semi-AFK, I will just go do Motherlode Mine, and when I need some pretty hardcore AFK time, I will probably just go woodcutting. Here is, well, it didn't show up, but here's 65 Slayer, that unlocks Dust Devils, which would have been a fantastic task if not for the fact that I cannot even get them without partially completing Desert Treasure. 75 magic, and that unlocks Fire Wave, which is the strongest spell I can cast. With Tome of Fire it can hit up to 30, and that is more than a trident at 99 magic, so if we really need to hit something hard with magic, then we can use that. Got a task of Turovs in the Fremennik Slayer dungeon, so I think now's the best time to get our second unlock, and that will be Ring Bling for 300, so we can craft our own Slayer rings. They have 5 teleport locations, but 3 of those are locked behind quests, but we can use the ring to teleport to the Stronghold Slayer dungeon in the Gnome Stronghold and the Fremennik Slayer dungeon, so up until this point I was using Fishing Guild teleport and walking to the Stronghold, or Camelot teleport and walking to Fremennik Slayer dungeon, so you can see that's a pretty long distance to take, and this should save me a bunch of time. But there is one issue with continuing Slayer. I don't have any food. I kept buying those potatoes and buying, and it's pretty annoying to buy them constantly. I could just go and buy a lot, but what I also could do is finally use up all of those raw fish that I'm hoarding since like 2 months or something. I have some trout and salmon to get my level a bit higher, but I also have 10k raw tuna, 20k raw lobsters, and 9,500 raw swordfish that I got all while heavily AFKing at Fishing Guild, so why not just use them up? I have access to the Hosidius furnace, so not furnace, range, so that's where I will be taking them. We are starting at 51 cooking, and we're finishing at clean 90, and now with a lot of food stacked in my bank, I think we can safely go back to Slayer. A couple tasks later, we didn't even get any Slayer levels, and I'm already having to stop Slayer for yet another reason. This time, we need Chaos Runes for the Black Demons, and I have absolutely no GP, so you can guess where we're going. We're gonna pay a surprise visit to the Ardon Knight's pockets. 1 mil GP should be enough. Here's also 80 for thieving, and I think we could go back to Slayer, but there is one issue. A new league in Path of Exile starts today, and I wanted to play for quite a long time, so I need something AFK to do while playing. And I have those 20,000 iron ores that I would like to smelt. And you can superheat them, but you can also smelt them in a regular furnace if you use those rings of forging, because then you have 100% chance to smelt an iron bar, and I think that will be AFK enough for me. Of course, to smelt iron you need 15 smithing, but thankfully I had some bronze bars in the bank, so here's 15 smithing. And here's 70 smithing, and with it clean 1500 total level. I'll go smelt some gold now, we'll make some Slayer rings, and I will go back to Slayer. And oh, I just wanted to quickly mention what I did with those iron bars. We still have some left over. I made a bunch of iron plate bodies, but then I realized I could make those iron bolts and then attach feathers to them later. They are a lot worse than iron darts. I think iron darts give 3.8 XP each, and iron bolts give 1.5 XP each, but this is still quite decent fletching XP, and I can't make darts without tourist traps, so this is pretty good as well. This caught me entirely by surprise, but we actually got the dragon sword from Worms at like 180 KC in total. This is a fantastic upgrade to get, because for only 2 less stab attack we get 13 melee strength, so that is a definite keep. Also fits my magic defense set for now at least, because it's all red. And just stumped to get it. Honestly, I don't even have the dragon sword on my main UIM, and I got 99 Slayer there solely on Konar, so that was a lot of worm tasks. But I'm definitely happy to get spooned that weapon on this account. Took another break from Slayer this time to do some Motherlode mine, and I got 280 nuggets, so that should be enough to buy the entire Prospector's outfit. And since we have 100 left over, why not just buy a gem bag? There's a lot of gems, especially in Slayer, and I would like to pick up them all. And here we have 70 Slayer, which is a pretty big Slayer level, because that unlocks Kurasks, yet another fantastic task that I can get. And also the first task that I'm gonna be ranging, so as you can probably see on my skills tab, there's a lot of work to do in that department. So I think now's a good time to be wrapping up the video, and I will go work on all of that ranging stuff and some gear for it. And, well, I hope you have a wonderful day, and I hope to see you in the next one. Goodbye. Pre-searing from the future speaking, those episodes are like 2 years old, and I try not to change anything in them, but this goodbye was terrible, so here's a proper goodbye. Thank you for watching, hopefully you enjoyed, hope you have a wonderful day, and I hope to see you in the next one. Goodbye.